still a very respectable end of the season record. Very proud of that. We had 61 goals for and 13 against. So that's a pretty incredible goal differential this year. So that's kudos to the whole team. Offense, finishing, putting goals away, and our defense keeping the ball out of our back. So that was pretty impressive. I think last year we tied for the most goals in the state with DMA, and this year I didn't see the final, but we were right up there. And unlike some other programs, we like to keep it respectable and hold back if it's 5-6-0. So anyway, obviously one of the biggest highlights at the end of the film there. Our very first tournament appearance in school history, and only our second full scheduled varsity season. So give a round of applause to these boys for that. That's incredible. And that's a credit to all of you out there, honestly. I mean that. It's a credit to these boys, the talent they have, for all of you parents and families, getting these boys to practice. A lot of these guys started playing soccer when they're 4 or 5 years old, making sure they're picked up after school every day, so now we're on the bus home. Endless hours, tournaments, camps, all that stuff. It's all a credit to you guys and to the hard work. I would like to think that we want to run the harder training camps in the state, and we learned a lot from a great coach sitting over there, Coach Derrickson, Middletown's head coach. We learned a lot. We try to use a lot of that in the way we train our kids. And these boys, they bought into what we preach. I think they believe in us and our philosophies and our style of the game. And they bust their tails at practice. I can guarantee you that. And a lot of you parents can probably attest to that. You see them come home and they're probably not used to going right to bed. But I guarantee during training camp before school started, a lot of them hit the sack pretty early and are pretty quiet in the evenings. Let's see what else. We had our soccer programs first team all-stater from Adam Pinder. So that was pretty awesome. Big accomplishment for Adam and for the school to get that kind of recognition. We had arguably our very first big win against the Flight A, very quality program in Middletown High. And I think Coach Derrickson would be honored to hear that we thought that win was so special. We've played a fairly weak, actually one of the weaker out-of-conference schedules in the entire state. And as I talked about last year, that was picked by our athletic director, and he had no idea what kind of talent we were going to have the first couple of years. So we were picking up whoever we could get. And I think that we've made a point. And as a lot of you have seen, if you go on the Hawk Sports website, I'll talk about it a little bit. But we did a complete 180 with our out-of-conference schedule. But beating Middletown this year was a huge accomplishment. They're a tremendous program. They've been to the state finals 2 out of the last 3 years. So that was very awesome for them. So we were very proud of that win. That was definitely a highlight of our season. What else? Let's see. We also had 6 players recognized all conference. So again, round of applause to these guys. The voting meetings are pretty interesting. The kids don't always get the recognition they deserve. Coach Derrickson and Coach Ritter can attest to that. A lot of it can be politics, but I feel like we did a pretty good job of getting our kids some recognition this year. We have a bit of changes next year in the conference. We have Christiana High and Brandywine coming down to Flight B, and we have a couple teams leaving. Conrad and Apple are heading out. So there's going to be some change in personnel and coaches and the teams we play. So interested to see how that'll unfold. I think what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and we will present the certificates, and I'll save my seniors to the end. So guys, when I call your name up, please come up and grab your certificate. And most of you guys a lot of you were varsity last year, so you already have your letter. If you lost yours and email the one, too bad. No, I'm kidding. Come see me next week and I'll get you one. All right, we have first off Matthew Peanut Adams. John Hesky. Sean Stevens. Joe Rocco. Lamar Jones. Casey Dunkelberger. Casey Hayden. Mark Smansky. Mark was one of our captains this year, yes. Did a phenomenal job setting up first year as captain. Very proud of his efforts. Adam Hinder. Captain Adam Hinder.
AKA Ball.
Tarvey Helm, another freshman. Accuracy, Alex Ricketts. Here, $5 for doing that. Zach Alton. Our third freshman, Rob Jameson. And last, but certainly not least, Johnny Brenner. All right, I saved the best for last. We have our 4 seniors. This group's a special bunch. They've been with the program since day one. A couple of them, maybe all of them, I'm not sure, have been with the program before, the year before I was here. They're a great group of kids, actually young men now. Some of them are 18, scarily enough. They'll be out of here, heading to the real world. I wish them nothing but the best of luck. I know they're going to do great things in life. They all have a good head on their shoulders. I know most of them, if not all of them, are headed off to college or some type of post-secondary school and getting good jobs and all that good stuff. So first off, we have Skylar Harvey. Skylar's been a pleasure to coach. I don't think Skylar's been playing soccer for as long as some of these other boys, but it's been a tremendous joy to watch him grow as a soccer player. He's definitely one of, if not the fastest guy on the team. Love to see him come and play off the bench. Got him in there when we could, and he did a phenomenal job. He was definitely one of the soulful, emotional leaders of our team. Always verbal, getting loud in the huddle, getting the team going. I don't know if I ever see that kid mad or frowning. He's always happy. And as the boy would say, it's bunnies. That's a good one. Nah, Skylar's definitely got ups, as you saw. I think that was a highlight film. Looks like he's going to the NBA there, but Skylar did a phenomenal job for us this year. He was also one of our backup keepers. He saw a little more action in goal last year, but tremendous athlete. As I said, didn't play soccer for as long, but it was a pleasure to coach him for a few years. Paul Galloway. Paul's a great player for us this year. Played on the outside, started last year as well. Actually had some pretty nice statistics this year. Scored a handful of goals and had more assists. Built some great play going down the sideline. Is good with the ball on his foot and kind of perfected the outside cross. We try to get a lot of scoring opportunities, put the ball in the middle from the outside, and Paul did a great job of doing that. We changed his style of play a little bit over the last few years, and he's a kid that never questions you. Whatever you say, yes, coach, got it, coach, and just goes on and does it. Tremendous work ethic. I remember in training camp the last couple of years watching this kid just work his heart out, no matter if it was 110 degrees out there or whatever. never once complained, never once a behavior problem, just a tremendous kid, and I wish him the best. Bradley Goodman. My buddy. Bradley, believe it or not, you may not know this, but he's one of my favorites. I've known Brad for a long time. So I think he's probably 7 or 8 years old. He used to wrestle with his brothers at Middletown High. I had the pleasure of coaching Brad in a couple of sports. I coached him in the wrestling in the winter with wrestling. But it's also been a pleasure watching Brad grow as a young man and as a player. We've asked him to change, a couple things and change his style of play a little bit. He's just done an awesome job. Whenever he's on the field, you knew it. And he's a vocal player, plays hard, plays physical, and he's grown up quite a bit, both physically and in some other ways over the past year. And it's been great to see. Really, really proud of him. He probably had the goal of our school's history against Middletown. Sorry, Coach. I think he hit that shot from about 35, 40 yards out, honestly. I mean, that picture was definitely the ball taken off of his goal. Nah, his eyes are open. I saw it. But to be completely honest with you guys, a lot of you have been thinking, what a lucky shot, it's 40 yards out. How's a kid scoring like that? But I gotta be dead honest with you, he's done that lots of times in practice. And we usually yell at him, Coach Rick and I, you can attest to it, we yell at him, why are you taking that shot from out there? That's ridiculous, you're not gonna score. Well, I ate my words there. And couldn't have had a better feeling after watching that shot. I think that's one of the best feelings ever, I couldn't believe it. And I know Brad was ecstatic too, so that was a really awesome moment. Definitely one of the more exciting, probably the most exciting goal and one of the biggest goals in our school's history so far. So that was phenomenal. I'm glad he had the opportunity to partake in that. So great job, Brad. And our last senior, definitely not least, Colin Town. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with Colin and his family. They've been a huge help with our program, and along with the other senior parents. I didn't mention that, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Colin's an awesome kid. He on and off the field. I'm down there in carpentry a lot. Coach Hansen, our other coach, is the carpentry instructor, and I'm always down there. And so I always have a good time going down there and giving Colin a hard time. But our team's definitely not going to be the same without him. He's been our leader, no doubt about it, our captain. The head honcho, and all the boys respect him. He knows how to have a lot of fun, but he also takes care of business at the same time. I think that's going to take him very far in life. He was, I don't think I mentioned about the other boys, I won't hit it, but he was a first-team All-State, or I'm sorry, second-team All-State player this year and last year. So that was, are you third team last year? Sorry, I tried to give him too much credit there. Nah, but deservedly so, he could have been, honestly. He's a tremendous sweeper, one of the better sweepers in the state in my mind. Just a shutdown player, and honestly, I could have played him anywhere. He's very talented, and you can see it. There were times where he runs out of the back, and I'm like, man, I want to play this kid up top or in the midfield. He's a great soccer player and a great person. I wish you the best of luck, Colin. All right, now we're going to talk about our wonderful managers. They're also seniors, and we're going to miss them very much. They'll tell you, the first ones to tell you that I have to give them a really hard time. We kid around a lot, and I bust their chops if they ever forget something or didn't do something, but I gotta be honest, our program might fall apart if I didn't have them. They're my right-hand girls, if you would. Always remind me, hey coach, you forgot this, or no, you forgot this, make sure you do this. Kind of like my little secretaries. They did an awesome job for the past couple of years. Lauren, you've been with us, what, 2 or 3 years? And this is Paige's first year. But couldn't be more proud of these girls. Being a manager for a varsity team really does have quite a bit of responsibility, and I think a lot of times they're underappreciated. But I couldn't say enough good things about these young ladies. Again, I wish them the best of luck. They're going to do great things in life. I think they're both headed off to college, or at least working some great jobs, I'm sure. But first we have Paige and Tom. And we would tease them. If someone missed a practice, the other one became the number one manager, and then if she missed, the other one was the number one manager. I think they flip-flop positions lots of times, but in the end, she's been here longer, so the number one manager, Lauren Wiley. Definitely gonna miss those boys or those girls. I was gonna say these boys will miss them too. We're definitely gonna miss them. Like I said, they've been a very special part of our program, and I know they worked with Miss Adams and the planning committee to help put this all together. They did it last year too, so gonna miss them a whole lot. All right. Yeah, a bit more to go there. I'd like to announce they do an award that's Blue Hen Conference Academic All-Conference Team Certificate, and we had about 6 guys. I think it's just for varsity players. We have a whole lot more of JUs included, but these are for varsity players or who have played at least a couple varsity games, who have a 3.2 grade point average or better during the sports season. So that's a great accomplishment. I would hope that all of our boys can. I know they can earn a 3.2 during the season, but it's definitely an accomplishment. These boys are extremely busy, and you know that. And for a lot of you that played sports in high school, some of these guys play 2 or 3 sports throughout the year, along with their club teams and travel and tournaments. And I remember how I was playing 3 sports. You're extremely busy. So to balance all those things and manage all that and still keep a strong GPA, that's impressive. And I think it's definitely worth an award. So first we have Matt Adams. Peanut. Joe Rocco, 3.2. Mark Szymanski. Most of the juniors, I believe Mark still has a 4.0, number 1 in his class. Accuracy, all triggers. Zach Allen. Johnny Brenner. And Brian Sander. All right, the next set of certificates I have out here, we've talked a little bit about them already, but I didn't put all of them. These are all conference honors, and I did hit a couple of these guys, but we have, actually I'll start with the other end. We have all conference honorable mention this year was Mark Szymanski. Well deserved. We have the conference does first team all conference, they do second team all conference, and second team all conference this year we had sophomore Johnny Brenner. Also selected to the second team all conference was senior Paul Galloway. All right, now the first team all conference. This is quite an honor. We had 3 players selected the first team all conference. First off, we have sophomore Matt Peanut Adams. That's quite an honor for a sophomore, so looking for great things from him in the next couple of years. Next we have senior Colin Towner, first team all conference. Kyle was actually voted as the number 5 player in the conference. So and last but not least, first team all conference, Adam Pinden. Adam is actually selected as the number 3 player in the conference. Adam led they're calling him ball hog. But actually Adam's a phenomenal player. These guys know it. They're all great players, but Adam's definitely a standout player. He led the team in goals and assists this year, I believe. So a phenomenal season for him, especially as a junior. All right, we're getting into the our team awards. We give out a few awards every year, including the Hawk Award. We actually have great awareness in the air, just in general on the ball. This is the second time he's received the award, I believe. It's Colin Towner. I had the pleasure of heading down to Wesley College Stadium and doing a real tough one this year. This is our MVP, Most Valuable Player Award. And Coach and I talked about it quite a bit. It could have gone to several different guys because, to be completely honest with you, I don't think our team could be who they are with every single guy we had out there from number 1 to number 18 or whatever it was on varsity. So this was very tough to pick. But the more and more Coach and I thought about it, we couldn't imagine being where we were, qualifying for the state tournament with such a young team. I don't know if you realize, I started, I believe, 5 or 6 sophomores along with the freshmen. And if you compare that to other rosters out there that made the tournament, it's just complete opposite. They're full of juniors and seniors, and I think a lot of it was a credit to this young man. He's a young player, but his dominance on the field is evident, and he's not the biggest guy, but he plays big and he plays physical. And I guarantee our team would not be the same without him. In the state tournament game, he got banged up pretty bad, and I saw his leg, and I was like, he's not going back in. There's no way. I talked to our trainer, Robinson, and I was like, he's done, right? He said, we'll see. And next thing I know, I'm looking over, and he's getting padded up, and he came over and said, Coach, I'm ready. I couldn't believe it, but I was so relieved at the same time because I was like, it's going to get ugly. I don't know what we're going to do. So extremely proud of this young man. I've seen him grow as a soccer player tremendously since last year. He was a good player last year, but just a phenomenal player this year. And I was glad that other coaches saw his talent and ability and work ethic on the field, and we were able to recognize him this year as a first-team all-conference player. So our most valuable player this year goes to a very young sophomore, Matthew P. We do have a pretty strong sophomore class, and actually that's a nice little lead into my next section, but it's just kind of a next season outlook. As I mentioned earlier, just a couple words for next year for most of you that we